The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 11th day of December 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BEDC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman, and we'll have a news break from Teo Dill in a bit. How's everyone feeling? It's Thursday. You all wonder why I'm smiling? Because, we're a day closer to Family Day, as some people say Christmas Day. And, well, for me, I don't know about you, but, we get to, argue with our family. Well, eat with, no, I don't eat with my family. Just spend time with family. And so I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I just like the vibes during the holiday season. I like the vibes. I love the vibes with people, man. It's just, even people with no manners seem to have manners during this time. Am I wrong? Like, people that normally probably wouldn't speak, they'd be like, "Hey, happy holidays, season's greetings." I'm like, all right, okay. Maybe it should be the holiday every day. But no, I'm excited. I'm smiling. I'm happy, man. I hope you feeling good on this Thursday, 11th of December. Suzanne Ingham says it's a super awesome Thursday, Jamal and Teo. We are alive and functioning, grateful. Absolutely. Nicole Hassel says it's the eve of my 3 weeks vacation. I'm having a great day. Oh, yes. Vacay time. I feel it. Angeline Butler says it's definitely a spirit this time of year. Absolutely. I feel it, man. And it just, honestly, I don't know if I'm making this up, but folks, it just feels different. The energy, the vibe, and I love it. I do. And I know that this is not a time where everyone so enjoys. Again, there are people who've lost people during this time of year. This time may bring back memories, bad memories for some people, and I get it. I really do. But for me, I do appreciate the spirit that flows throughout the community that seems to be good, and old things that represent what I think we love about Bermuda and being Bermuda. But anyway, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today, as we will be welcoming Donte Hunt. Where did Trot come from? Donte Hunt, or from the BEDC. It's right in front of me too, folks. From the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. I'm really looking forward to this. We're talking about the Eat Shop Play today, and it's one of my favorite campaigns because you all know that I love seeing us shop locally, shop and support small businesses, but also keeping our dollars circulating in our economy. So really looking forward to the conversation with Donte. And if you met Donte before or seen him on the show in the past, it's energy, folks. So he'll bring the energy and the good conversation with us this morning. Also, the Daily Play is going to be holiday trivia today. All right. So got a holiday trivia for you today. Also, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Let's jump right into today's conversation. It's been the topic globally. It's been probably one of the, outside of war and economy, one of the biggest topics because it set I guess it's the first of its kind, and the tech companies are watching how it unfolds closely. What am I talking about, folks? I am talking about what happened in Australia. Australia trying to enforce the first teen social media ban. Governments worldwide are watching. Now, I believe Florida was doing something similar, but on Wednesday, Australia became the first country to formally bar users under the age of 16 from accessing major social media platforms, a move expected to be closely monitored by global tech companies and policymakers around the world. The ban, which came into effect from midnight local time, targeted 10 major services, including Alphabet. Well, that's like to Meta, which is like Instagram, and ByteDance, TikTok, Reddit, Snapchat, and Elon Musk's Twitter X. The controversial rule requires these platforms to take reasonable steps to prevent underage access using age verification methods such as inference from online activity, facial estimation via selfies, uploaded IDs, or linked bank details. This is big. All targeted platforms had agreed to comply with the policy to some extent. Elon Musk X had been one of the last holdouts, but signaled on Wednesday that it would comply. The policy means millions of Australian children are expected to have lost access to their social media accounts. However, the impact of the policy could be even wider, as it will set a benchmark for other governments considering teen social media bans, including Denmark, Norway, France, Spain, Malaysia, and New Zealand. Questions of the morning, folks, very simple. And this is a big one for Bermuda as well. So if you're just rocking with us, make sure you share this conversation with your friends, your family, colleagues. What are your thoughts on Australia's teen social media ban? And would you support a similar social media ban in Bermuda? Would you support a similar social media ban in Bermuda? Well, I also wanted to figure out, like, kind of see how like the Australian parents and the children are responding to this, right? And it's quite interesting because parents seem split on this, right? Some parents say the ban had an immediate positive effect, meaning less screen time, less pressure, kids more present with family, right? Others say social media was their child's social lifeline, especially for isolated or marginalized kids, and the ban risks cutting off support. Now, I hadn't even thought of this, right? Because here we are in our supposed normal state thinking that, oh, children need to get off the video games and get off social media and get outside and play, because that's how we grew up. But if we're honest, there were always those children who didn't want to come outside and play. They were not socially inept. And it's easy to say, oh, I'll make them. No, we're all built differently, right? And even as social media has become more available to us as adults, and some of us have become more introverted, this kind of helps us relate a bit to it, right? So parents are a bit split with it so far. Some saying positive effect, less screen time, less pressure, kids more present with family, and others say, no, it was my child's social lifeline. They, were isolated or marginalized, and this risk cutting off their support. But what did Australia actually do? The law, and this is the key point, folks, the law does not target kids. It doesn't target children. It's actually targeting the platform. So platforms must take reasonable steps to prevent under 16 from creating and keeping accounts, with large fines for companies that don't comply. Now, with anything, right? Because I'm sure all of you have broken a law in some respect, whether that's speeding or, parked illegally. Just me back in but few hours, I see the double parkers annoying me throughout town, right? But early reports are suggesting some teens are still bypassing age checks. But the regulators are saying that enforcement will tighten over time. Now, here's the why, because this is the most important part, and we've discussed it on this show before. I remember my former colleague on this show, Carl Azul, speaking, sharing that some of the young people she knew of, if they didn't get a certain amount of likes or views or engagement, they would delete their social media posts. That's insane to me. I didn't really know what this meant, but when I left primary school, we didn't have a graduation. Principal Malvada said, "No, they're not graduating. They're just moving on to another school. So we're going to have a prize giving." And during this prize giving, I wasn't an academic, so I'm like, well, what would I get? And they gave me an award for self-esteem. I had no idea what self-esteem really meant back then, but I got the self-esteem award. And my mom took her time explaining to me what self-esteem meant. And I'm like, well, I was always the shortest child. I was always the darkest child, right? And those are two things you usually got picked on or teased about, but it never changed me. It didn't, I had a self-belief because of how I was brought up, that being too dark to some or too short to some was not going to stop me from doing whatever I wanted to do, And as I got older, though, I realized that not all children are built the same. So the why is this important to do? Mental health. Not every child has a self-esteem. Bullying, grooming, addictive design. So supporters of this argue that the goal is to reduce harm linked to constant exposure, the cyberbullying. Someone puts up a picture, I see adults doing it. Adults doing it to other celebrities, people who don't know them. The harmful content, the comparisons, the grooming anxiety, and social pressures. Folks, I don't know. I see this law as a good thing. You may disagree. So what's the big trade-off in this? Safety versus connection. Safety versus connection. If you remove social media, do kids replace it with healthier activities, or do they migrate to harder to monitor spaces? Right? So you know how it goes. All right, well, you take that away from me. I'll find another way. Get VPNs that they use these days, burner accounts. Does the ban really protect kids, or does it just push the risk underground? This is important. Here's the one that really got me, though. How do you prove age? And who's to say that cousin Junior can't create a cousin Craig? You feel me? It's just like the liquor store. Young people, you're underage, so you pay somebody outside. Okay, can you get me this here inside? How do you get around that and secure and protect the children? Now let's talk about Bermuda. Bermuda is small. Schools, parents, churches, sports clubs, and government can coordinate quickly. Maybe we don't need a full ban to get results. But one of me in Bermuda is young people recording school fights and so on. So what would options look like for a short ban in Bermuda? Remember, we were talking about the school phone policies. Sloan Johnston was talking some years ago. She was very, very much into digital literacy and parenting workshops. Could we introduce curfews and device-free family hours internally, not even worried about government? Stronger reporting for support for cyberbullying. And the most important part for me is youth mental health supports. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. If you've just tuned in, we're discussing Australia has become the first country for to pretty much enforce a ban, a teen social media ban um, for under 16. So, what are your thoughts? Do you support something like this? Would you support something like this in Bermuda? What are your thoughts on Australia's teen social media ban? Let us know in the comments. Let's get right to it. Good morning, says Ms. Ellen K. Horton. Good morning to you. We've got Nicole Hassel says, whatever works for Australia, by all means do so. And I wouldn't mind a ban here in Bermuda. Okay. Traveling Trotty says it is a proactive policy. Okay. Proactive seems like Traveling Trotty is in favor. We've got James Burgess said, good morning to the Daily Hour team. I'm watching and listening. We appreciate you, James Burgess. Big shout out to you. We've got Kenton Trott. He says, good morning, TDH family. In the last few years, I have seen the negative impacts of social media has had on our children. This policy would change Bermuda in a positive way. And Kenton Trott, I'm pretty sure that you were one of the people on a panel for the Cyber Tips or Digital Leadership Conference at one point. So, and I know you've been in schools in your capacity as a police officer to discuss this. So I know you are very passionate about this. So any advice or an additional information you can give us, please do. Here's the thing. I'm torn with this. It's like AI to me, right? I completely understand people's concerns with artificial intelligence. And I understand the concern with young people and social media. But I'm going to use all the good. Like artificial intelligence, social media, if used correctly, can be a great source of information and education. Remember what I tell you. I don't follow celebrities. I follow usually people in my community, businesses, and things that inspire me and motivate me and educate me. So I'm not into the like, and if my spirit isn't feeling something about someone, I disconnect and I mute or I stop following them. I think we need to educate young people about who they choose to like. It's like friends, right? Real life friends, I mean, not social media. But if you wouldn't hang out with certain people, why do you want to follow and engage with them? You feel me? So I completely get why social media bans are important for young people. But I also think if we direct them and allow them to follow or engage with just certain uh, pages or organizations or people, it can be a benefit. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. We've got Kenton Trott says they need to bring cyber tips back at the level it was at before. It was educating our children. I loved it. I loved it. Stacey Ann Brown says, I'm in support of the ban. I believe there's a lot of good, but our kids are too exposed to the dark side and we need to protect them. Yeah. It's about re-educating, right? I think it's about re-educating. Sloan Johnson, who I mentioned earlier, says, as the Cyber Tips lady, yes, she, and the Youth Mental Health Summit coordinator, I second what Kenton said, but I believe it should have been phased in, and there should have been more youth input. As she says, a former Cyber Tips lady. You know, once you're it's like an Olympian. Once an Olympian, you're always an Ms. Ellen K. Horton says, I do agree with the social media policy. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And this is not, I was going to say this before Ms. Horton commented, so it's not a dig at Ms. Horton. But I was going to say, I've been told I'm getting old with my thoughts, right? And I remember Mark Bean saying to me some time ago, he goes, look, a lot of young people, their minds will change, they'll evolve, right? What about those people who say we're just old and we don't get it, right? Oh, well, I didn't have social media team because it wasn't around. But what about what do we say back? Because every time we want to come up, like, think about what I said about Cotton Match, about the drinking and the music, and people were like, oh, I don't believe more laws. And look, I agree. I don't want more laws. I don't. But if they're coming or created to help us, I am all for them, folks. Give me a yes or no. Yes or no, audience. Would you support a similar social media ban in Bermuda? Just a yes or no. Let us know. You've got Michael Daniels. He says, there's no law that can be more beneficial than a good parent-child relationship throughout the child's life. I agree. Larry Marshall Sr. used to say it all the time. When it came to conscription and young men going up the regiment for discipline, he said, it's not the government's responsibility to discipline or raise your child. And I do agree. And that's why I said earlier, Michael Daniels, right, that it doesn't have to be law, but families having device-free family hours. Like Sundays in my house growing up, we had Sunday dinner, right? Your children treat it as your Sabbath on Saturday or Sunday and say, no social media, no phone use on this day. Something that simple, but I agree. It's like I always say, you can't legislate love, but there can be no law more beneficial than a good parent-child relation. Man, Michael Daniels, you hit a home run with that one. Sloan Johnson said, I think they forget that kids are smart and will only develop new apps. Absolutely. So the conversation needs to shift then, right? How do we, Sloan, let's bring back cyber tips. What do we have to do to bring cyber? And folks, if you're not familiar with cyber tips, go on my website, jamalhartman.com. Go on my website, and I actually presented one year. And I showed how we created the Daily Hour. That entire presentation is on my website, the homepage, thedailyhour.com. And it was really trying to show how young people can create positivity using the internet and social media. Again, would you support a similar social media ban? I'll go through these last few comments, then we'll go to the news. Then we've got our guest, Donte Hunt, on. We've got Suzanne Ingham says, no, I don't support it. I think it's a parent's job to do that. If they don't know how to do it, then Gov can help. It's a parent's responsibility, not the Gov. And when the Gov continue to push like the Aussies is doing, to me, this is leading to a very heavy hand on censorship and control. It's a parent's responsibility, not the government. I don't disagree with you. I actually agree with you. But not all parents are created the same, Suzanne. That's what we're up against. Not all parents are created the same, which is why we have these social situations that we have. All right. Would you support a ban, all-out ban? Alan Kate Horton says yes. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says yes. Polly Root says yes. And then Charles H. Jefferson, he says, growing up as an only child, I can see how social media could have been a great source of connection. As an adult, somewhat addicted to social media, I can see the benefit of a ban. Are the phones banned too? Again, because young people find a way around it, right, Charles? Stacey Ann Brown says, yes, I support the ban. WKD Lama says, yes, I support the ban. Manuela Joan says, there are some who use WhatsApp and TikTok to communicate with family and friends in other countries. To have to make long distance phone calls would cut them off and or create larger bills. Here's my stance on it. Do I support excuse me, do I support a social media ban for children under 16? No, I don't. And the reason I don't support a ban is the same reason why I have extreme views of drugs. I believe that with education and care, that young people will be able to navigate the space. And I believe we should be focusing on education rather than taking something away and making it unlawful. It's my personal opinion. I completely understand those who believe, yes, it should be banned. But I would say I think we should take measures and steps long before we consider banning it. I hope that makes sense. And GeoFubler, last comment before we go to the news, says, good morning. Signed on late, but anyone who isn't convinced on these bans and policies should read The Anxious Generation. The data is very clear. Null and Jonathan Head provides all the research. I'll have to read that. Thank you for sharing that. Because for me, I believe education first. I think the ban should be a last resort. I simply believe it should be last resort. So I don't believe Australia just pulled this out of a hat and said, this is what we're going to do. I believe that they used the data, they used information, they saw what was happening with young people. I believe it. I just feel like in a Bermuda context, we had cyber tips. We need to make sure it's education and information over punishment and conviction, making people unlawful. Folks, this was your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Awesome conversation. If you appreciated this discussion this morning, you were awesome, engaging. Whatever platform you are streaming on, if you're streaming with us, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. One more comment. I'll go through. Tossi 2510 says, no, I don't support a ban. That is too autocratic for a private and personal interest. The family monitors the young ones, 10 and under. The others say 12 and over, know their limit, indeed. And Stephen Johnson says, when young people are part of the process, you get more buy-in. I love that. Folks, let's show some love to Titan Express and Secure, and then we'll go to the news break with Teo Dill, and then we've got a commercial break. We'll bring Donte Hunt on to talk about something very exciting. Very exciting. All right? Stick with us.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
Alrighty, folks. Again, if you're streaming with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram, help us beat the algorithm so that we can make sure that as many people as you know, even young people today on this conversation, because their input is valuable in this conversation. Just make sure you help us beat the algorithm. Share it, like it, love it, share it, subscribe, do everything you can to ensure that everyone in our community has access to these most important community conversations. And we're going to get over to Teo Dill for your Daily Hour News Break.
Good morning, I'm Teo Dill, and welcome to your TDH News Break from the great folks at Peoples. Sometimes wellness is found in the smallest moments. A smile, a thank you, a helping hand. That's People's Pharmacy. We've now experienced double-digit road deaths in 2025, with a teenager having tragically passed away due to a traffic collision last week. The police have confirmed the death of a 17-year-old boy just after 2:30 last Wednesday morning near Flora Duffy South Field. Mobile patrol officers reached the junction of Frog Lane, Montpelier Road, and Parsons Road, where they found two people lying in the road near a motorcycle. Emergency responders rushed the pair to KEMH, with one being sent overseas for care, where he sadly succumbed to his injuries. If you have any information about this tragedy, reach out to Inspector Anthony Smith on 247-1431 or asmith@bps.bm as soon as possible. And it turns out, the big problem Bermuda needs to worry about is over-tourism in order to protect our environment generally and our oceans in particular. This from BTA COO Aaron Wright during a recent interview with the BBC, that is the British broadcasting company, the BBC, about our national hospitality reality, particularly in relation to the growing presence of cruise ships and their passengers visiting Bermuda.
Cruise ships can visit in Bermuda, so I think we're in a good place to ensure that doesn't happen just through those natural restrictions. Yeah, I think we're investing a lot in the product. Like I mentioned, new hotel developments. We have 600 additional rooms coming online next year, and for a small destination like us, that's an increase of 25%.
Now, over-tourism, that is a national commitment to prioritizing the well-being, experience, and resources available for short-term guests versus the long-term residents of a destination, is a global problem. In fact, earlier this year, another small island, just like Bermuda, had a national protest telling tourists live, in person, in their faces, to straight up go home.
Thousands of locals taking to the streets in the Canary Islands this week, telling tourists to get out, while the tourists themselves watch from their hotel balconies. One woman shielding a baby from the commotion after an interaction with a marcher. Protesters urging the Spanish government to take action.
We don't have an exclusive area for us Canarians. Everything is being made with regards to tourism. And well, we want to reclaim that a bit, that there be a little more tranquility, that there be less construction.
And our GDP is growing in a more diverse fashion than you might think. This from Labor and Economy Minister Jason Hayward during a live press briefing yesterday afternoon, where he explained that despite IB continuing to occupy the lion's share of our economy, over half the distinct sectors experienced growth over the past year.
As reported, 12 of the 19 industrial sections actually increased, which means that we do have diversified growth. When I looked at the numbers, the vast majority of the growth comes from the local economy and not international business, even though that international business was the single largest growth from a sector standpoint. If you look at the local economy, 67% of the growth comes from local economy. It means that we do have diversified growth in our economy, because we do have 11 other sectors outside of international business which actually grew.
And today's weather should be a little bit less wet and windy as yesterday, so if you forget your umbrella, you'll probably be okay. Transient high pressure should settle down and brighten conditions up today, with occasionally cloudy skies and some late showers showing up overnight. The air temps for today will be a little bit warmer than we recently dealt with the range sitting between 71 and 67 degrees. And that's your TDH News Break, brought to you by our friends at Peoples. I'm Teo Dill. Back to the show.
I'm not frozen. Thank you for that, Teo. Firstly, before I tell you what bothered me about that news break, not Teo and his news break, I just want to send love and comfort to the family and friends of the young person who lost their life on Bermuda's roads. Those are the worst stories for our news team to share, during this time, especially holidays and like. So just sending love to the family, friends, and greater community impacted by that loss. But you see me giving that eye. Did I just see something about over tourism? Man, give me a break. Bermuda can only dream of that situation. And furthermore, are we trying to make excuses for less tourism already to actually, we don't want over tourism? No, you all know that you can't sell Bermuda. Stop, Jamel. Let's focus. Got Brother Donte coming up. We're going to speak about good things about keeping money circulating in our economy. But pay close attention to that one, folks. Do not let high-paid tourism executives and folks make you believe that Bermuda may have an over-tourism problem. There's no Bermudian out here marching. The last time I think Bermudians marched or voiced their concerns about something with tourism was when they thought they wouldn't have access to that beach down there where St. Regis is. Let's not do that. As long as I have this mic, trust me, we're not going to allow that kind of thing to happen over tourism. My goodness. Yeah, right. Anyway, let's go to a break. We've got Donte coming up. Some important stuff, folks. In the meantime, give it some thought, though. Bermuda does not have an over-tourism problem. We simply won't have one. We won't. No one is flocking to come Bermuda. Look, this is the reality. This is true. No one is flocking to come to Bermuda like they were in the 90s or 80s or 60s. Oh, I skipped the 70s and the 70s. They're not. There's so many other destinations to go to. Some are more affordable. Some have more to do. Other climates. Okay, we're not going to do tourism. I promise you. I'm going to take a break real quickly. All right? We'll be back with Donte Hunt. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Take a look at our workforce for construction workers and tradesmen. durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Shoe bite? You can't say that. Oh, sorry. I'm just here practicing for my family game night this Christmas. Check it out. Shoe bite, Bermuda's own twist on the classic word guessing game, is here. Get ready for laughter, friendly chaos, and a whole lot of Bermuda flavor. And here's the best part. One lucky box has a golden ticket with a grand prize courtesy of One Communications. So visit BermudaTrivia.com to find out where to get yours today. Now, shoe bite, I'm trying to practice for my family game night.
At HSBC, how we do business in our community is as important to us as what we do for our community.
This is the 6th year that HSBC has graciously funded the She Leads program. This year we have over 30 girls who have registered from middle schools across the island to participate in this real-world experience, which exposes young girls to all kinds of traits and qualities and skills that they will need as they move forward in their leadership journey. It's a really wonderful time to be a girl in the world. There are so many opportunities open, and we want to make sure that our girls are prepared to take the lead in whatever spaces that they move into. So this program provides them with really kind of the groundwork to get those careers and those life journeys started. We want to thank HSBC so much for contributing and being the major sponsor for this program. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to have our girls participate at no cost. Everything is provided for them thanks to HSBC, and we really want to thank them for their support with this program.
Thank you to all of the charities, corporate partners, and HSBC volunteers for your commitment to our community.
Every space has a message. Whether it's a store, a government office, or a doctor's waiting room. With Store Tunes Radio, transform your environment with customized music and professional messaging that keeps people informed, engaged, and at ease. Easy to use, built for organizations of every kind. Powered by Bermuda Communications Group. Store Tunes Radio, the soundtrack to better customer experiences. Visit StoreTunesRadio.com to learn more.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Jamel Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring we can do this with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. Folks, please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date. All that we have going on, help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Real quickly, you saw the drama? So I saw Teo had Minister Jason Hayward in his news break, and he got in this hook, right, with MP Douglas DeCudo the other day. Man, I was listening to it. Was like a political fight. Like not physical, but words. Like Hayward says, it was emotional. Man. You didn't see it. You got to listen to the host. That sounded very gossipy. I mean, if 50 Cent could share it, I can. Anyway, all right, folks, without further ado, let's bring in our very special guest for the day. We're talking about the Eat, Shop, and Play. And if you've never heard of this, I am grateful that we're having this conversation because this is an exciting opportunity for all of us to support local businesses. And we have Donte Hunt from the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation joining us to discuss it. Folks, let's give a warm TDH welcome to Donte Hunt. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Uh-oh, Donte is on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. I got you off mute.
We had this whole conversation. Remember the mute button? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, look, I'm glad I've been on here before, bro. What's
Donte,
up, man? What's up?
I can't say too much.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get a sip.
Oh. No, I feel a lot of. I don't have mine this morning, folks. I have to get me a mug. He's showing me up. He is showing me up. I appreciate that, man. First off, thank you for doing this.
Love it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. I think last I saw you, you were moderating a panel at the Global Entrepreneurship Week panel. That was awesome. That was awesome, by the way. And again, I don't think I've spoken enough about it, but big up to everyone at the BEDC for everything that they put on and done during that week. Entrepreneurship, as Craig Simmons says, is going to be the way out for so many of us, whether it's job loss or, can't find opportunities. But Donte, before we jump into the meat of this conversation, just tell people a bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
So I have the absolute honor to be a part of the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. At the BEDC, what we do is all things entrepreneurship. We absolutely are passionate about supporting entrepreneurs, helping them reach their dream. I'm the director of the MSME unit. That's the micro, small, and medium enterprise unit at the BEDC. So again, I have the opportunity to hang out with entrepreneurs just like myself. Most of us at the BEDC are entrepreneurs or have been entrepreneurial. And so I know 100% of us. So who feels it knows it. We love it. And so that's what we do in a quick, 15-second piece.
Yeah. So audience, real quickly, just a yes or no audience. Have you heard of or participated in the Eat, Shop, Play? This is not the first time they've done this promotion. But Donte, just give us a little breakdown. What is the Eat, Shop, Play promotion and what problem is BDC trying to solve with it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the Eat, Shop, Play program is a Christmas shopping incentive. And this incentive is all throughout our 4 economic empowerment zones. And so we have them in Northeast Hamilton, and that's sort of like your Court Street area and beyond. We have it in Southeast Hamilton. That's a bit of Front Street, a bit of Reed Street, where some of the retail stores are. We have it in Somerset, and we have it in St. George's. The maps for these places, the boundaries are on our website, bdc.bm. You'll go to events, you'll see Eat, Shop, Play. It will have all the details that we're going to talk about today, and you can see the maps and the boundaries there. But at any rate, Eat, Shop, Play works like this. If you go to any of the participating stores in any of the EEZs, now I believe we have like 98.3% of all of them in the EEZs. Now, if we don't, and you're a business in the EEZ, give us a shout. We missed you, or we couldn't get you at some point. We'll get you sorted out.
I like that.
Eat, Shop, Play, and you spend $20 or more, you are eligible to win up to $500 in gift vouchers to any of the stores in any of the 4 economic empowerment zones. So that's $500 for first place, $300 for second place, $200 for third place. Here's the kicker, Jamal. The store in which you have won gets an equivalent in cash. So inject some cash into that store for participating and for having a winner from their store. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, this is our 5th year doing it. So if you don't know about it, you should. No, it's probably our fault or whatever it is. If you don't, now you know.
Well, we're 50-50. One no, and then we've got a yes. So I think for the most part, most people have heard. But by the end of this conversation, I guarantee you, everyone will know, and their family, friends, and colleagues will know. But what does success look like this for this? Like, Donte, is it more foot traffic, stronger sales, visibility, customer loyalty? Like, what are main goals for the small and micro medium?
Well, you just nailed them, Jamal. Why are you asking me when you're telling everybody, man? You just taking all my thunder. Come on, bro, easy. No, but that's it, right? What we want is more foot traffic. We want people to go into these areas. So what happens is, during Christmas or shopping period, what do we do first? We go to, I'm going to have to say, I go to Amazon. We go to, we start there first, or we go to some of the stores the bigger stores, the ones on front. When I say Front Street, the areas that I'm talking about. What we want to do through Eat Shop Play is get persons moving into some of these shopping spaces that they've never been to before or don't frequently go. And so, for instance, in Northeast Hamilton, the Court Street corridor and Dundonald Street, you've got places to eat. You've got retail places, you've got service-based businesses. And so why not try these places and get the opportunity to win some money, right? So, and here's the thing, right? You can go, a lot of us buy lunch for at work. You can go get a meal. You can't get a lunch under $20, right? So you get a meal. Then you might want to say, hey, look, I'm shopping for Christmas. Go to one of the retail spots and spend $20. You can enter as many times as you want. Be strategic. Use like a hack. Buy $20 from here, $20 from there, then go back $20 plus and enter as many times as you want.
Yeah. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Donte, please send them through. I'll get through as many. I did see one or two come through, but I'll get to as many as possible. For small businesses and business owners who are tuned in right now, explain to them the value of being part of this promotion, especially if they're competing with larger businesses, like you mentioned, and online shopping. I'll give you an example. So, for instance, us being in a retail space in one of our businesses, we could sell online, we could, sell on our website, but we see the benefit of community retail, meaning put it in stores so everyone benefits. But speak to that owner who is up against it.
Well, first and foremost, you're going to be part of this massive big promotion to get people into your area, into the economic empowerment zones. And let me take a step back. What is an economic empowerment zone?
Talk to us.
So an economic empowerment zone is a government designated geographic area that has incentives and concessions, very helpful. It's aimed to be helpful for business owners. And the reason why these EEZs, economic empowerment zones, were created was due to historic social and economic disadvantage that has lasting effects up until today. And so part of our role at BEDC with the economic empowerment zones is to administer these concessions and incentives, and in two ways. One, directly to the entrepreneur. That's what we call business development, and that's what my team is. That's what my team, the MSME, is mandated to do. Then we have the economic development part. We also do that part at the BEDC. The economic development part is getting foot traffic into this area, doing things in the community like events to get people to come in, looking at development. Now I can go on and on about that, but that's what an EEZ is. But for entrepreneurs, this campaign is going to give that added boost. You can go ahead and use some of our social media and create your own and say, hey, come to my store, because guess what? We are part of Eat Shop Play. So get on the sort of promotion bandwagon and utilize it to get people coming to your store.
I love it. I mean, you don't have to do the work yourself as a small entity. You just have to be a part of a bigger group. We are from some easy promotion. I love it. Donte, before we go to the audience, this is my favorite part of this. And you mentioned, online shopping. We've had conversations for years about money leaving Bermuda, right? This campaign is all about keeping dollars circulating in the local economy. The local multiplier effect, in plain language, how one purchase can ripple through our economy.
Entrepreneurship, small and medium-sized business is by far the economic driver of any economy. There's numbers like 80%, like small and medium-sized businesses provide 80%, up to 80% of jobs in any jurisdiction, any economic marketplace. So entrepreneurship is key. It's the bedrock for any economy. So by supporting our local entrepreneurs, keeping those dollars in Bermuda, we are creating a stronger economy for us all. Now, let me say this. We're talking about online shopping. At the BEDC, we do have something we call Buy Bermuda, and it's BY Bermuda. And that's a online marketplace where you as an entrepreneur can put your products online for free. What we do is we do all of the payment processing for you. And so that takes away some of it takes away all the fees associated to it. You don't have to design that website because it's already designed. You just have to drive people to your particular storefront on Buy Bermuda. So that's a awesome, easy fix to getting online.
We've got a question from the audience. Charles H. Jeffs II says, $20 in one visit, or can it be combined visits? For example, if I get lunch from the same restaurant twice in a week at $12 per visit.
That's a good question, Charles. Charles Jeffers, my good buddy friend. What up, G? You can't combine them up, Charles. $12. I don't know what you're buying for $12 for lunch. Maybe 2 slices of bread and some butter. But it's got to be $20. But you can 20 and up. You can do that as many times as you want. Get lunch every day. That's 5 entries, and then go ahead. Again, we've done some wicked, awesome retail stores out there in our EEZs. Go take a look if you haven't been there. Right, drive through St. George's, Somerset. Northeast Hamilton, Southeast Hamilton. And if you don't know, again, go to bedc.bm. You're going to see events up top in the nav bar. Hit that Eat Shop Play. There we have the boundaries and all the businesses located in those areas. And again, if you're a business, we don't have you in there in one of those maps, give us a shout. And if you have it, if you're one of the very, very few who's not participating, reach out.
Donte, before you head out, just remind us, when does it take place? From what date to what date?
That's right. It's already started, and it's going up until December 31st.
All right, December 31st. So through Christmas, folks. So, folks, if you get some cash for Christmas, just saying, doesn't always have to be a gift. So if you get cash for Christmas, it's still going on. One more thing. You said reach out. What's the best way for people to reach out to BEDC to learn more?
Info@bedc.bm, or go to our website, bedc.bm. On that website, you can go ahead and you can set up an appointment. You can become a member. You're naturally going to see the plethora of awesome stuff that we're doing for entrepreneurs, you guys who are starting businesses, who are the bedrock of our economy. bedc.bm or info@bedc.bm. I would go to the website. Website's fun.
All righty. Donte, thank you so much for making time.
I can't believe it's over.
It's over already.
It's over. So Donte Trot is out.
Hey, look.
For those who just coming in, I had a big laugh.
I'll say this much. You inspired my producer, Daddy, he heard me, so he bought the new one in. So we got to get you a new one, see?
Yes. Oh, no, I had that one. I did. It's in the back. But anyway, cheers, my brother. Look,
cheers, my brother. Happy holidays to you, Donte.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Donte Hunt, folks, BEDC. You got to get yourself a mug. Everyone has a mug. You got to reach out. But thank you so much to Donte. Again, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. We're coming back. I have some holiday trivia for you and updates on Bermuda trivia. Stick with us.
Warning. This video contains flashing lights.
Oh yeah,
just getting her? We've been doing this all along.
Free sign-up, no dimensional weight, the fastest customs clearance, and the lowest prices. Now, that's ZipX.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BEDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to Donte Hunt and BDC for coming by for such value and important community conversations. So again, folks, if whatever platform you're streaming on, you appreciate the information and conversations, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. It is appreciated. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Oils, Lindos, People's Pharmacy, HSBC, for ensuring we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis and pump through the radio areas with these most important community conversations on Hot 107.5. Folks, it is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Shoe buy is selling out. And I share this, that there are only a very small amount that were ordered. People's Pharmacy and Flying Colors were filled up yesterday. If you are planning on purchase, you need to get there ASAP, because once they sell out, there's no promise that there will be more ordered. It is an exclusive game. So again, if you're interested in purchasing, no, don't hit the daily hour up asking for a hookup, because once they're gone, they're gone. They are sold through the stores. So Brown & Co. has them. People's Pharmacy has a bulk, as well as Flying Colors. Once they are gone, they are gone. With the coloring book and crossword puzzle, they are all limited editions. Okay. All right. Also, if you want more information, you can follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. This is not a Bermuda trivia question. This is a holiday trivia question. Audience, are you ready? And this is probably one of the easiest holiday trivia questions that you will get. Here we go. What holiday song begins with, quote, "You better watch out, better not cry," end quote. All right, Sheikah Rana into his house. Shawnat Bell, is it Ifes, Stacey Ann Brown, Charles H. Jeffs II, Julie. It is Santa Claus is coming to town. Yes, Manuela John. Yeah, I told you that was the eat. One of my co-hosts would have still gotten that wrong. Yeah. I'm not going to say which one. I'm just letting you know one of them would have gotten it. But yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. We've got to wrap it up so you all can go about your day. But thank you all for rocking with us, man. Love these conversations. As we mentioned the Australia ban. I'm at this time. I know most of you support the ban. At this time, I would rather education. I would rather educate people, not just young people, but people in general. Because the truth is, I've seen how social media has impacted the mental health of adults of all ages. We have to bring back things like cyber tips, which I believe Snow and Johnson was behind. Kenton Trott was part of it. I participated in it. Education, in my opinion, is the way. Snow and Johnson's asking, can you repeat the name of the book that was mentioned earlier? I can't find in the chat. It was from Theo Fubler. The name of the book, The Anxious Generation. The Anxious Generation is the name of the book, right? The Anxious Generation. We've also got a comment from Ms. Alan Kate Horton. She says, when you are all on your Christmas drives, take the time to drive down in my yard. We have loads of lights. Oh, where's your yard? You've got to let us know where your yard is. But thank you all for rocking with us. And as far as the social media ban, again, education, education, education. Now, if we need to put in certain things to protect young people, maybe I just hope that if a ban is last resort. Now, I'm happy to be proven wrong. If a ban is in the best interest you believe, and information and data shows that, I'm all for it. I'm all for a better community, especially for our most vulnerable, which are children, elderly. As far as the conversation with Donte, support it, folks. Get out there. Keep the money circulating in our economy. Keep it circulating. We've got to make sure that we understand the role that how we spend our dollars plays in our lives and the greater economy and community in which we live. I've got to give you daily inspiration, but Ms. Horton said 15 South Bend land sands. All right, 15 South Bend land sands. All right, and it's not Sandy's, it's sands. All right, so I've got to give you daily inspiration, don't I? So I'm gonna go to my book, Within. And I want to leave you with this, folks. This is a quote from The Words Within. I've seen many comments and quotes like this, but let this be something that sticks with you. Everyone's version of success is different. To some people, maybe to have a large social media following, while for others, it may be to make a living without needing a social media presence at all. Think about it. Social media is not the only measure of success. Alrighty, folks, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all of our social media channels. to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis and pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. BR is out. Peace.